Have you ever wondered how to navigate the different personalities that you work with without driving yourself crazy? Maybe you've noticed that some people like to get right to work, get into the details, ask their questions, where some people want to talk about and brainstorm new and innovative ideas. Or maybe you've noticed that some people they like to connect before they start working, where others are just ready to let's go, let's hit the ground running. If you've ever felt frustrated in dealing with these different personalities that do things completely different than you do, yet you know that you want to be a high achiever and you want to really up level your influence and your connection with people by being able to connect with them in spite of all the differences, then this video is for you. Hi, my name is Darlene with Just BTC, and I want to talk to you for just a minute about the power of curiosity when dealing with different personalities. Because when we stop labeling these personalities as difficult and hard and start seeing them more as opportunities to connect and collaborate, then everything changes. I mean, we're working with people all the time, and our greatest success will come when we learn to work with people. And that's going to be all around us for our entire life, is being able to relate to these different personalities. And I'm not talking about, just some people don't like the idea of personality assessments or putting us into a box, but that's not what this is about. This is about knowing that we've got to change and we've got to start dealing with people at a different level. And so understanding that there's a lot of studies and research done around personality to know that there are differences. And when we can understand that the way these personalities value things is different, that gives us a step up in how to connect to these people. And so it becomes a leadership tool. It becomes an influence tool because now we can actually connect with them in order to get different results. So let me just take you for just a minute to understand what these different individuals, personalities, what they value, because people make decisions based on their values. And so being able to understand them is really, really critical. First of all, we have our individuals who are relationship driven people. They are our feelers. And we all feel and we know what it's like to feel, but these individuals actually can approach relationships at a different level because they have a stronger intuition about how people feel or perceive things. And that's why it's important for them to connect, but to connect in a deeper and more meaningful way. They value cooperation and collaboration, but they want to be able to connect. And so for us, just knowing that gives us the step up to know that we just got to take a minute to appreciate them, to recognize them, to connect with them. And it doesn't even have to take long, even if it's simply to ask them about their day or their family or how they felt about a project. And taking that little extra minute, now we're stepping into their world in what they value, and it's just going to up our influence with these people. The second one is what we call our doers. They're our freedom seekers, and they value freedom. They value having flexibility, variety, and challenges. They're very hands-on people. They like to get things done, and they like to move at a fast pace. They're going for the quick win. So knowing that, it gives us the opportunity to step into their value and give them those challenges, give them that space to be creative and get things done the way that they need to. But giving them that deadline creates even that bigger challenge. Then there's a third category of individuals, and we call them our thinkers. And again, yes, we all think, but these people think at a level of competency. They're very competent oriented. There are lifelong learners who are always asking the questions of the why and the how. They like the facts and the data more than they like to connect emotionally. And because they value being competent, they have a different level of excellence and expertise that they're striving for. And so knowing that competence is their core value allows us the opportunity to approach them very logically with the facts and the data, and then to honor space for them to think and to innovate without micromanaging them. because they're going to solve problems at a higher level when we give them that space. And the last category is our detail-oriented individuals. They value being organized and they value responsibility. They're the people that take commitment seriously and they thrive in a structured environment. They need clear expectations, clear guidelines, clear instructions. And then they don't want you to move the goalpost on them, because they will meet those deadlines if we will allow them and honor their reliability, their need for routine, and those clear instructions and deadlines. So instead of getting frustrated when people do things entirely different than you would, I want to challenge you to jump into being curious about yourself, but being curious about the other individual. Being able to ask yourself, what is it that I value here? How do I want to lead? How do I want to influence? How do I want to make a difference in this situation? And what results do I want to get? But then jumping into the other person's shoes and being able to say, what is it that this person values? How are they seeing the world based on their values? And what can I do to shift my communication style to be able to work together and to collaborate? And simply just asking, what is it that this person brings to the table that I might be missing, because we're seeing the situation from different value points? Because when we shift our mindset from being frustrated to being curious, we open up a whole new opportunity to be able to collaborate and get better results together. In fact, I remember working with an individual once who seemed to be overly focused on the details of the situation and the task, and I just wanted to get things going. And so it really drove me crazy, and I'm sure I drove them crazy. But then I stopped and I paused and I got curious and I asked myself, what is it that this person values in this situation? What's important to them in this that they're trying to achieve? And I realized that their value was to be responsible. So they wanted to get all the details and all the instructions and all the deadlines in place so that they could be thorough and that together we could get better results and be more successful. And here's the beauty. Once I was able to see that, obviously I didn't feel so frustrated, but then I was able to acknowledge it to this person and really praise them on their ability to get the details, which really made our collaboration so much more effective. And it created a win-win because they got to excel in their strengths. I got to recognize them and I got to excel in my strengths. And so together, it just made such a win-win and so much more fun to get things done together. So my challenge to you is that the next time that you feel that frustration starting to creep in and you just want to get furious, I want you to stop and I want to challenge you to get curious, because those differences in the people that we work with, the people that we live with, those differences are not obstacles. Those differences are actually assets. And when we can start embracing those differences as assets, that's when we start building stronger and more dynamic relationships. So if you're that person that wants to be a higher achiever and really connect with people in a way to grow your influence and be able to get better results together, then I challenge you to be curious. Get curious and not furious, and know that you can make a difference and just be the cause to be your best. Hey, my friend, Darlene here. If you found that video helpful or insightful in any way, I want to ask you to just share it with somebody that you work with or somebody that you do life with and just watch the difference it makes. Or maybe you'd like to hire me to come and do a 3-hour personality workshop with you and your team so that all together you're on the same page and you're going to start to get better results together. Either way, let's start a conversation on how we can collaborate and connect with people to raise our leadership focus, to raise our leadership influence, and really go out there and make your difference.